Welcome to Seven Figure Entrepreneur Podcast, the #1 podcast for bringing you behind the scenes with real online earners. We got no fake gurus here. And today we definitely do not have a fake guru. We have the Facebook king himself, Tim Burd. What is going on?
Woo! How's it going, guys? I'm glad. Thank you for having me on.
Yeah, no problem, man. Glad to have you on. I feel like we've been trying a little bit to get you on here, and finally we got you. You're traveling so much and doing so many events, it's hard to get you in one place. And I also got to introduce Tyler Devin. What's going on, buddy?
What's up, everyone? What's up? I'm just proud to be here with Facebook royalty, Tim Burd and stuff.
Facebook royalty. Yeah. Next, we're gonna have to do the Facebook king and queen because I know that they're
I can set that up.
Location, so it would be good. It'd be good. Yeah. So this is gonna be fun. Tim, I think like everyone kind of knows who you are in the space as like the main Facebook guy. You have the ad buyers group. Anyone who does any Facebook advertising is in there. It's a big group. How many members you at now?
I think like 81,000.
Wow, yeah, that's awesome, man. That's a pretty.
If you guys,
pardon?
Yeah, if you guys aren't in that group, you're listening, you definitely want to check it out. I know a ton of guys that do a lot on Facebook, and they all like religiously take part in this group.
Yeah. So before we dig into where you're at now, can we dial it back and kind of figure out how you got started into this and where you are today?
Yeah. So I actually got started when I was like 19. I was a mortgage broker.
No shit.
It was like the best time of mortgages, like right before it collapsed, you know?
Yeah.
But we're doing all these loans and I'm like, there's no way that this is sustainable. I'm thinking there's no way this is sustainable. These people, there's no way they can afford these loans,
Yeah.
Hold on. I have mic issues here.
Oh, it's all good.
I'm actually kind of curious, man. What kind of triggered you into seeing that? Because obviously a lot of people miss that.
Yeah, I got out like a good year and a half before. And I mean, it's pretty easy. Like when you're doing loans for people where the bank doesn't require any bank statements. They don't need to know if they have a job or if any money in the bank. If you have a good credit score, you can get approved for like $1 million house. It was that simple.
Wow.
And I was like, but I know these people couldn't pay. They literally like, I'm unemployed. I have no money in the bank, but I have a good credit score. I'm like, no problem. I got you in a $3 million house. I was making my commission, right? But and then there was loans where you only pay like 1% interest, but then the other 6% interest gets added to your balance every month. So you could pay it, but you don't have to. It's called an option arm. And I'm like, these are dangerous. Like people are not good at saving, and they're just gonna.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I saw that coming, and I was like, okay, I need to get out of this. So I started as an affiliate actually in the adult internet advertising space. It was for like webcam sites and stuff.
Yeah.
So I started as an affiliate for like 3 days or whatever, and posting ads on Craigslist and on stuff like that. Just really basic stuff. And it did really well. And then it did so well that the affiliate manager or affiliate owner, network owner, I guess at the time, he called me and he's like, hey, whatever you're doing, it's awesome. Can you like teach other people how to do it? Yeah. And I was like, okay, I guess. He's like, yeah, I'll give you $5 a sale and they still get 20. They get the same, but you get $5 extra on top. And I was like, cool. Yeah. And I didn't know that I didn't know that made me an affiliate manager then, I didn't know the term or anything. I'm like literally 3 days in at this point.
Dude, how'd you even find out about affiliate marketing? Because I feel like it's one of those things, at least for me, I knew people that were like, I ran into people that were doing it. I didn't like Google it or anything. How'd you?
Yeah, it's funny. My little brother, he's like 2 or 3 years younger than me. Andrew's his name.
Yeah.
He laziest guy ever. Love him to death, but super lazy. Yeah. And he's a couple years younger than me, so he's like in high school at the time. And he's like, man, I really want to find like an online job, like I know I can work from home. Yeah. So he found a job ad on Craigslist that was like work from home, make $20 an hour, whatever. So he started doing it and it worked. He got the check, the check came in the mail.
Wow.
So after a few weeks of him getting paid, and I was seeing he's making like decent money now right away. And then checks were clearing, so then I jumped in too. I had a kind of a background when I was like 13 and 14 of building websites and computers and stuff. I was always kind of like a nerd.
Yeah.
So then it kind of like brought me back to it, after high school.
Wow, that's crazy.
That's funny, man. So you became a affiliate manager, and then how did it progress from there?
So then I brought in so many affiliates. It was for webcams.com, one of the biggest sites, and in like 3 months, tripled their business. And then so then they gave me a raise, but then I wanted more because I was doing so much volume, and then some of my people wanted raises, so I was like losing margin. So I'm like, okay, I need to get higher payout here. And they wouldn't give it to me. So then I went and partnered with I think it was cams.com. I forgot exactly which site it was, but like another big site.
Yeah.
And they gave me like a white label. And for those of you guys listening that might not know what a white label is, it's when they just give you like a copy of the site, basically, but on your domain or like on your brand name. So it looks like yours. Cool. So I did that.
It's as much as yours you can get without actually operating the whole back end, right?
Right, you literally operate zero. So it was pretty cool. So I did that for a while, and then we moved into like the dating sites, like the adult friend finders, Fling, even eHarmony, Match.com, whatever.
Yeah. Were you advertising on like Traffic Junkie and ExoClick, or what?
Oh no, a little bit, but it was mainly Craigslist traffic. And thank God, over 7 years ago, statute of limitations. We were never doing anything illegal. It was just breaking Craigslist terms of service by posting a lot, like using bots and stuff like that.
So the traffic was free, basically.
Yes and no. I mean, you had to buy like Gmail accounts and pay for the software and get a phone verified account. So you need to like burner phones and, sort of like the Cloaker guys today, same thing. It's like, you still need like credit cards and like all this other stuff, IP addresses, So we're using like those little like USB devices that you plug in like for internet back in the day.
Oh yeah.
Connect and connect a little like Verizon MiFi device or whatever.
Yes. I know those.
You get like new IP every time you connect. So we had like a bot that would like automatically go click disconnect and click connect, like it was all automated. It was cool. And we're doing some pretty heavy volume. But then long story short, fast forward like 5-6 years, Visa changed cross-sell regulations and you could no longer cross-sell a site that you didn't own for like privacy reasons.
Interesting.
So those like join forms where it's like, all free trial, Yeah. And if you don't cancel, it'll be an automatic every per month. Yeah. And this box was selected. If you don't unselect this box, you'll also be billed another $39.98 per month if you don't, So there was like 3 of those at the bottom.
Yeah.
Those rebills.
They made their money. So when Visa made that not allowed anymore, basically my margin went down. I was getting paid like $40 a sale, and it went down to then $20 a sale, which is what I was paying people. So like I lost all the margin I had. So it's like, okay, time to pivot to mainstream.
Yeah. Well, that's cool, man.
So was that the point where you kind of transitioned to doing Facebook ads?
It wasn't then just yet. I transitioned what was it at the time? CashUniversity.com was the affiliate program or network I had at the time. So I transitioned. I just asked my affiliates like, hey, what offers are you running at other networks that I could get you a better payout on? So it was everything from like credit reports, mortgage offers, like whatever, just like regular, your average kind of CPA network stuff.
So you kind of had like a mini network for a while then. You more or less had like a mini affiliate network for a while then.
Oh, I had like 3 affiliate networks. I mean, I had at one point on Plus, I had 50 advertisers direct. I got them all, and that was for like 500 offers. All direct. So we're dealing with all of that. We did like $10 million of revenue the very first year.
So you're like you're an OG in this. Like you've been
doing it a long time, man.
How many years now?
Like since I was 19. So let's see, I'm 32 now. So like 13 years, I guess. 13 years.
Wow. It's funny, man. If anyone asks about or if your name ever comes up, everyone always associates you with Facebook. Like this is a whole new side I think most people haven't even seen before.
I mention it, like I go over briefly, like when I intro myself on stage or at the mastermind, I kind of like, glaze over it, but
fair enough. We all have that.
But yeah, Facebook. So I got into Facebook about 7 years ago, give or take. I think it was like 2011, around there.
Oh, that's all good.
Here we go. dog likes to bark.
Oh, yeah, that dog just showed up, didn't it? You have
yeah. You know what's funny? It's my girlfriend's dog.
Yeah.
Great dog. Her name's Ramen, and she was in Hungary, where my girlfriend's from.
Yeah.
Actually flew my assistant all the way to Hungary to pick up her dog and bring it back like last week.
Wow, that's hilarious. So now you're a dog dad.
I'm a dog dad now. Yeah.
Yes. Congratulations.
Thank you. She's a great dog.
Yeah. A little off topic there. Sorry.
Yeah. So basically, like 7 years ago, I was basically tired of running the network. I was we did like 10 million in revenue the first year and like $1 million in like gross profit, something like that. Because on White Hat, to get the big affiliates, you have to give. I had very slim margins, and then if a advertiser doesn't pay you, you lose like all your profit. So I was just making like some of the affiliates were making more money than I was net. You know.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is ridiculous. Like this is so much stress. This is so much work. Forget owning a network. This is terrible. I'm like, the money is owning the offer. Yeah. So then, funny enough, my business partner, he like randomly, like his friend invites him to go to like a meeting with a law firm for no reason, just to like kind of give them marketing advice. Long story short, they end up basically trying basically saying like, hey, it's a Social Security disability law firm that helps people get Social Security disability if they qualify. They're like, hey, can you get us leads? To my business partner, Sean. And he's like, of course we can, so he sells them, whatever. And then he like walks out of there and he calls me. He's like, hey, can we generate these leads? I'm like, I don't know, man. I've never even heard of Social Security disability. I don't even know what that is,
Yeah.
So we set up a landing page. We set up some Facebook ad campaigns. It like 7 years ago, it bombs like hard. Like we're getting $25 a lead. And I think we were paying like $100 a lead. We're like losing a lot of money, like testing this. I never run Facebook ads before. So it's like just brand new to it pretty much. So then I was like, man, it would be really great if I could talk to other people that are doing Facebook ads so that I could get some help and like we could exchange ideas and like figure out what's working, So then I like go on Facebook and Google and I'm like, okay, Facebook ad groups, Facebook ads. And I just find like, there's like a couple groups, but like there were like only a couple thousand people and very inactive. Like no one's posting, just useless basically. So I was like, okay, I guess I'll just start one, So I started it, and I just made a couple posts on my timeline saying, hey, if you do Facebook ads, like join the group. I didn't go in and like invite every friend I had to the group like most people do. I let everybody join organically, like they chose to join,
Yeah.
And it took like a year to get to 1,000 people. Just completely organically. Then another year, I think we're up to 3,000. And I was just basically, we were all helping each other. But I would make sure that I was making sure that not one post went unanswered. I would answer every single person's question if I could. And if I couldn't, then I would look up the answer and like figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, I think, one of the reasons why the ad buyer group has done so well over the years is because I've just put so much time into it, honestly, like hours a day for 7 years now or something.
Yeah. But it's basically your audience now. So that's like, it's good, man. Like it may have taken a lot of work, but I feel like that's like a core group that really supports you. And if you ever, all my businesses are based on it now. Literally my agency, we just get like leads, nothing but incoming hot leads from the group. Yeah. The masterminds and consulting, it's mostly people from I have like 12 groups, not just the ad buyers group. Yeah.
From any one of those. Ad leaks, again, also a paid community. It's like a Facebook ad buyers group on steroids. It's like the way I like to put it. Then the events, like we just threw an event with iStack in Vegas. It was a great event.
Mm-hmm.
And we had like 300 people there, really awesome, 2 days, speakers, all that. We're doing another one in San Diego. So if anyone's listening, San Diego, it's February 28th, March 1st. We're going to have a ton of awesome people speaking. But
we will be there.
Yeah, it's all about the community. I tell people all the time, it's about the community. So if you can make a community around whatever your business might be, if it's selling dog toys, let's just say, dog stuff, then you can make a group on Facebook called like I Love Dogs, and just get people in there. Start throwing some I Love Dog meetups, I guess, stuff like that.
Dude, that's crazy. So has the ad buyers group, has that always been organic growth, or did you ever do paid ads for that?
That's a great question. So it was completely organic up until maybe 2 years ago, roughly. And it was I remember it was at 15,000 people organic. It took like 4 or 5 years to get there or something,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, let's throw some money at this.
Yeah.
So then I ran some paid ads, and it was costing me you can't really track it because there's no like pixel on a group, like you can't track a conversion. So I can just go up like roughly the average number of people that I had joining every day already, and then the added. And basically I added 30,000 people in 3 months, and it came out to roughly $1 per member when I was running just like link clicks right to the group, nothing crazy, no landing page, nothing like that.
Yeah.
But the problem was that it watered down the quality of the group. The group was very, very high quality before that. And then, just smaller advertisers were coming in that were complaining about, the $5 they spent and didn't get a purchase and, stuff like that. So it did water the group down a little bit, but it pumped it up to 45,000 people. So from there, I've let it grow completely organically again. I have not put any more paid money in. And it's been like, I think, year and a half, 2 years since then, and we've grown up to 81,000. But I think that 30K, I think it was good. I think it gave us some momentum. It gave some extra momentum, to get higher organic growth.
It sounds like it's something you would have done again too, if you had the choice, knowing what happened.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I think the answer to that is ad leaks, which is why I made it, because that, $50, $100 a month, it keeps those people out really that kind of that we don't want in there,
For sure.
They're good for the free group. They just have a quick question now and then. That's awesome. But yeah, we really wanted to make kind of like an elite group, then through local meetups all around the world. That's really my goal is to create a community around internet advertising, because there's not really like one central hub. There's kind of like the performance niche. Then there's like the ClickFunnels kind of people. There's a lot of disconnect between them. Like a lot of people in our, the performance industry, we know a lot of us know each other that've been doing this for a while, right? But you go to like Traffic and Conversion Summit, and you don't know. I hardly know anybody when I walk around.
Oh, me neither, man.
It's
like a whole different audience. And I saw a presentation actually by Jason Krisky like a year ago now.
Yeah. And
it said that I haven't looked these figures up, but I think this is accurate. It's what he had in his presentation, and I assumed he looked it up. Yeah. The online advertising industry is $600 billion a year. Okay.
Wow.
A lot of money, right?
Yeah.
Performance. Okay. The performance side of that, all the CPA networks, all that kind of stuff, $6 billion. So 1%, only 1% of the industry is performance. So we're in such a small, I think we're the most elite group out of that. We're the 1%, right? We're like the people that like, you have to get that CPA down, right? Most media buyers are not about that. They're just like, spend as much money as you can. Cool. I pay, they look like the video view cost or like the CPM. And that's like, the only metric they care about, the Apples of the world, right? And like Walmart and whatever. But it's crazy. There's just so much untapped, people. And so I'm trying to like bring people together, throw local meetups all over the place, train people into doing stuff the right way.
Have you ever done events at TNC before, or is this going to be your first one?
Do what? I'm sorry.
In San Diego, like around the TNC event, or is this your first one that you've done around that time?
No, last year I did a mastermind after it, right around it. And then also we were actually the ad buyer meetup. We were actually one of the official party, I think, of the first or second night of Traffic and Conversion Summit. But yeah, that was my first year, was last year going to it.
Okay.
Nice.
It's a big event. It's crazy. Like,
yeah, it really is.
I like it. We're going down there, so I'm excited for this year anyway.
Are you gonna be there too? Sweet.
Yeah,
man.
We got to, man. We got to rep the brand.
Hell yeah.
Got to do some interviews.
It blows my mind.
What are you?
Go ahead.
What are you guys focusing on?
Down there? or
No,
like
just in
the
general,
online space?
with the biz.
So our main things right now is 7 Fig, like just growing that, blowing up the YouTube channel. We're gonna do a lot more video stuff, and then we're gonna do a lot more podcasts, which we are now. Like we're booked up for the next few weeks. Like we have a lot of people on deck.
Nice.
But besides that, our main focus right now is lead gen, actually. So we're going hard in lead gen. We shut down all of our drop shipping, moved away from that, and going hard in the lead gen. We like the business model. It's a little simpler.
Yeah, lead gen's awesome. Yeah.
So I don't know.
Nicholas Kuzmich was on a podcast that Eric from iStack did yesterday in my group. I don't know if you heard the interview, but it was really, really good. I watched the whole thing, and he's all about lead gen too. And he was talking about how you can adapt lead gen for your e-commerce business, actually, which is really interesting. If you guys should definitely check that interview out. Actually, it was really, really good.
Yeah, I will for sure.
I'd be curious. Yeah, man. We looked at a lot at. So my main background has just been email, and we got a team of 8 emailers now, manage over 120 lists, and we applied a lot of the stuff we know on email to e-commerce, and it would blow up their back end 300-400%. So it's been pretty freaking amazing what's been possible when you put those two together. But I haven't seen many guys doing lead gen for e-com at all.
No, like no one.
Yeah. But like it makes sense how you could couple them both. As far as like Facebook and stuff like that, man, like I forget the number I saw quoted somewhere, but you said like as far as how much you guys have spent, or like you personally, how much have you invested just in buying ads?
On Facebook ads, so I spent about 25 million of my own money. And then if you include consulting clients, my agency clients, all of them, it's closer to like 100 million total.
Damn, man. Wow. You must have learned a lot through all of that.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely, and it's all across different niches, different verticals. It's like info products, mobile app installs, info courses, lead gen, e-com, all sorts of subscription services, kind of you name it, kind of, all of it. And I think one of the reasons that I was able to get, fairly decent with Facebook ads was I did medical class action lawsuits for a couple of years.
Oh, I heard about those. Those things pay like $400 or $500 a lead, don't they?
Yeah, they do. But the hard part was figuring out how to optimize for it, because when the leads cost so much, you have to spend, even $5,000 just to get 10 leads. You're talking like, and Facebook's like, oh, you need 50 conversions, per week per ad set. So, you're talking like mega money to be able to do all that, and get a decent amount of data. So it forced me really to learn and adapt and figure out like hacks and just advanced optimization techniques and stuff like that, just to be able to even run them. So I think that kind of forced me to adapt.
That's awesome. It's always cool when more challenges come up, and it only makes you a better buyer.
Right.
Yeah.
Of all the businesses and stuff you help, what's your favorite business model to go after when it comes to Facebook ads?
Ooh, that's a great question. So I always recommend to people subscription boxes, or subscription business. Doesn't have to be a box, but some sort of subscription model. One, you get typically a higher lifetime value of a customer, which is going to be important as costs go up on not only Facebook, but Google, YouTube, you name it, right? Prices are going up across the board everywhere.
Totally.
And when you go to sell the company too, I've sold 2 or 3 of my companies now. It's I basically just like start a company and flip it after like a year or 2 of a lot of revenue. Nice. But you can only get like 2 to 3x whatever you did the last 12 months of profit when you sell it. So if you do like $1 million in profit last 12 months, then you can sell your company for like 2 or 3 million roughly. It's like rough numbers. A lot of other factors come in, but that's rough. If it's a subscription business, however, you can get like 8 to 15x depending on. So you could sell that same $1 million profit business for 8 million up to 15 million.
Dude, that's insane.
Crazy.
Yeah, massive difference. It's a little bit of a different model, but to me, I think it's easier. I think we have a couple of subscription box clients at the agency, and I just see it's actually easier than running e-com in my opinion, because you have less products. Okay, you have like 1 million different products you have to try to nail down. then you also don't need to stock a million different products. You just need like a handful that you're going to be shipping out in this month's box or whatever, right? Yeah. And then you have like predictable recurring revenue. There's a lot of pluses to it, and I always recommend to people if they're asked like, hey, what kind of business, whatever, always subscription business. So AdLeaks is like my subscription business.
Gotcha, that makes sense, man. And that's so smart. Like I heard of companies like Loot Crate doing just massive numbers. Like they're multiple, must be insane by now.
Yeah, and you got like BarkBox. Once you get big enough like that, it's like the box for dogs or whatever. Once you get big enough, it's crazy. Listen to this, okay? So they don't even buy the product anymore to put in the box. They just say like, hey, dog food brand, how would you like to get a sample of your dog food into like 50,000 targeted dog owners in the US? Wow. We'll do it for you for free. You just got to provide the product. So then they provide the product. They get like a toy, a few different things from different companies. They don't pay a fucking dime for it. And they just have to pay for like a box and shipping. So I think they charge like $10 or $20 a month only, and like just like $1 for the box and a few bucks in shipping, whatever that is. And they're making like massive ROI now. They were losing money in the beginning, so they had to get all those subscribers. But
dude,
didn't they get bought out recently? Sorry, Tyler, what'd you say?
Well, I said I'm literally I was a BarkBox subscriber. Like we were pumped to get that in the mail every month.
That's awesome. Dogs love new toys, right?
Right.
It's wild. And if you go on cratejoy.com, there's like a trending box area. And you can do like competitive research and to see what kind of box you might want to start. It's crazy. There's like aromatherapy boxes. There's a monthly beef jerky box. There's candles, book clubs, soap.
What was that site again? Sorry?
Cratejoy.com.
Cratejoy.com.
And then you just go to like the trending boxes area of that site. That site is like it's like a platform, sort of like the Shopify for subscription boxes.
Okay.
Gotcha.
But you can use Shopify for subscription boxes also, of course.
Oh, nice. I didn't know that.
Were you talking about actually doing a whole course on the subscription thing, or is that?
Yeah. So that's what I was talking about with Adrian. That's on my agenda to start. I've already started. I'm basically doing the outline right now.
Nice.
I'm just going to do a course on how to start your own subscription box, and then also how to promote it, how to run ads for it.
Are you going to have an exit strategy out of that too?
For that specific, the company I said,
or just for selling, just for teaching people how to build it and sell it too. Because I feel like you have so much value in selling companies that like that would be huge for a lot of people.
I know. I just don't have the time to like honestly build up another company as
No, I feel you, man. That's cool.
Maybe what I'll do is I'll just one of the initial people to buy the course. I'll just like for an upsell, you can like take over the business I started.
That's a serious upsell.
Yeah, but I only have to sell one,
Yeah, that's a very valid point. That's a very valid point.
I used to say that about selling pizza for $1 million a slice. I'm like, all I need is one buyer and I'm good.
Right? Better be some damn good pizza though.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh,
dude, I didn't realize you sold businesses before. What kind of businesses were they?
Lead gen businesses. So I sold that Social Security lead gen company. We ended up selling it. And then we sold that to a law firm. Was one of our big clients who bought it because they wanted to, internalize it. And then one of our other clients was like, "Hey, can you generate leads for class action lawsuits?" Yeah. So we're like, "Okay, sure." We never tried it, but why not? Yeah. So then we did that for like a year and a half. Sold that company. Then I took like a year off and just didn't do anything. I just I tried a few random businesses, traveled to just relax, kind of. I really hadn't taken much time off in like 10 years, so. That was kind of nice to just decompress a little bit, but I've sold 2 companies now for over $1 million. No crazy big like $100 million exits, nothing like that yet. But one day
soon.
Yeah,
soon.
Damn, dude. What as far as how you split your time up now? Like you have the Facebook group, you got AdLeaks. It sounds like you have other pages in the back burner. How do you like break up your time, and do you still do a lot of like consulting and buying today?
Actually, I was literally just checking my campaigns before I got on the call. So I still do buying for AdLeaks. I do all the ads for AdLeaks, and then also for my own brand. So I'm still running ads on a daily basis, and I still jump on calls with my media buyers and stuff at the agency to help them. if they run into an issue where they can't get the cost down enough for a client or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
Time wise, man, I try to be organized. I have two assistants. I have an executive assistant and then like a personal assistant. So I can like really focus on like work, and not have to focus on like going to the grocery store or like doing laundry or anything like that. Which is I think really helped. People always say like, who's the first person you should hire as a business owner, and in my opinion, the first person you should hire is an assistant, because it's not that expensive and it gives you like another you time wise. It gives you like an extra 40 hours, right? And I think, I don't know about you, but like if I could have like another one of me, like, whew, watch out,
Yeah, that's very true.
I'm working on a cloning process now. I'm a bit behind, but
I've been getting beat up with your ads lately. I noticed that you're on going hard on YouTube lately. I like those.
Yeah, I have it frequency capped though. You shouldn't be getting beat up too bad.
Oh, I don't know, man. I've been seeing them like almost every day.
It should be only like 3 times a week.
Yeah, maybe not. Maybe it's in my head, but I know I'm seeing them a lot. But
I used a few months ago, I was beating people up real bad, like 10 times a day.
Weird. I wasn't seeing them then. Like now I'm seeing them, or maybe I just noticed them more with this new ad, with all the testimonials. But it's good, man. And that's Steph. Are you running that yourself, or did you hire out an agency?
I do it myself.
Oh, really? Man,
it's simple though. It's just I only do retargeting on YouTube, so it's like I set it all up, and it's just like set it and forget it. It spends like $30, $40 a day or whatever it is.
Oh, nice.
Nothing crazy.
I think Tim's just so far in your head, man, that you're starting to see it in your sleep.
Right. He's everywhere. I see him on the right-hand side ads too. I get retargeted on those. He's everywhere, man.
I got to hit it everywhere. Yes.
I just feel like I got to sign up.
I'm multi-channel over here, man.
Look at those plaques. Those plaques just like prove that you're the real deal.
I want to, there we go. We got to get the good zoom in for those bad boys. I want to touch a little bit on the consulting stuff, man, because we've done a little bit of consulting in the past, but I've always personally been hesitant to like just be so committed to other people's like business and stuff. Because you know how when you help someone, sometimes you end up like helping them more than they want to help themselves.
Yeah, I found that's totally true. Absolutely. That's why I started doing the masterminds actually. It's because I had so many people wanting consulting, and then I saw that so many of the questions were like the same that people were asking. It was, how do I scale? How do I set up my campaigns properly? Like, how many ads should I do? How many ad sets? What should the audience sizes be? How do I optimize my landing page? And so on and so on. So the mastermind I created like 2 days. I can do 20 people, 20 to 25 people at one time, all at once, answer all their questions. And the cool thing is that people will ask questions about something that then like the other person like wants to know but didn't think to even ask. It wasn't on the top of their head. So you end up getting like a lot of really interesting stuff going on at them. But yeah, consulting wise, maybe you just need to, if you find that people aren't like, because I was charging when I first started doing consulting, I was charging like $1,000 an hour. Yeah. And people were loving it, all that. They were taking the advice. But I just kept pushing the price up until just because my personal specialty is like helping people scale and optimize. So people will come in, they're spending like $10K a day. They just need like 1 hour for me to like bang through their ad account and their landing page and give them like a laundry list of stuff to change, basically. Yeah. And then maybe in like 2 weeks we'll do like another hour call, and that's the extent of it. I don't know what kind of consulting you're doing, but
been on like email and stuff like that. But I was more curious too, like when you sit down, you look at someone's like ad account for the first time, like what are some of the biggest keys that you look for that really give them extra bang for buck?
That's a good question. So I look at their campaign structure. That's the first thing. If I see that they have like 1 million campaigns and then like 1 or 2 ad sets per campaign, then that's an immediate red flag. Or an immediate thing they could fix rather. Mm-hmm. Then I look at like their audience sizes. If they're, some people have like super targeted audiences that are like 100,000 people, but it's too small. I look at like how many ads they're doing. I look at like if they're sharing post IDs or not. It's case by case kind of, but I look at like how good their retargeting is. Like, are they getting all the different audiences? I do breakdowns. I do breakdowns to see if they're throwing money away on Instagram or, newsfeed or audience network or, whatever, see if they're throwing money away. But there's no matter how good you are, you can always optimize. I'm constantly optimizing my own stuff and finding things that, and I didn't think of before. So.
Yeah, for sure.
We've been seeing good results with Audience Network lately, actually. And I never was one to go hard with it, but, yeah, man, it's been looking decent lately.
On cold traffic?
Yeah, cold.
Oh, wow.
Never
Lucky
saw
you,
that
man.
before. Yeah.
I see it once in a while. The last time I saw it was, I think it was on my Tim Burd account, but it was on Audience Network rewarded video.
Interesting.
It was like a subsection of Audience Network.
Yeah.
And that did well, but usually the regular Audience Network doesn't do well for me. So I usually only use it for retargeting.
Interesting. That's cool. Yeah, sometimes I toss up and select all placements and just let it go and then break it down and see what's up. And a few times I'm like, what? Audience Network? I didn't expect that. And
yeah, that's awesome.
It's interesting. You never know, man. You never know. I know.
That's why you got to test.
Yeah. Yeah.
I had a Facebook question actually, because I heard this from a guy the other day. He was saying different types of ads kind of hit different segments of Facebook people. So if you're only doing video ads, Facebook's only going to show that to their video ads people. Would you say there's any truth to that, or what are your thoughts?
Oh, it's 100% correct.
Yeah.
The auction, it's more complicated than that, but let's say that you're on desktop and obviously on Wi-Fi or something, right? It might know that historically you are more likely to click an ad, a video ad, when you're on a desktop at your home Wi-Fi. Now, when you're out on mobile, maybe it'll show you an image ad because the connection's not as fast. You're on the go, but it keeps track of all these things. So, but yeah, there's inventory for all these different situations that you might be in, different bandwidth, etc. So sometimes it shows you short videos, long videos, images, carousels, etc. So that's why I try to do almost every ad type, basically.
Nice.
To try to hit people everywhere, because you just have to do all of them basically. Yeah.
Those are complex campaigns. If you're doing every ad type, that's a serious build out there.
And not lead ads, but I'll do a link or image ad, video. Then I'll do those template ones where you can turn an image or a few images into a video in Facebook. Not the slideshow, but the templates.
Oh, I don't know those. I know the slideshow ones. I've never used.
Yeah, it's pretty new actually.
Okay.
But it's really cool actually, and they do really well.
Okay.
Then a canvas. So yeah, I'll do 5 or 6 different ad types, and I'll just do 2 different variations of each, and boom, I have 10 ads now.
Yeah.
Nice.
The never-ending testing.
Mm-hmm.
Never ending.
Yeah, just when something's working, it almost stops, but then something else picks up, and it's just a funny thing we've seen.
Yeah.
Oh, it's all the time. Yeah.
Yeah. When it comes to Facebook ads, and I know you've probably spoke to a lot of new people, and that's I'm going to ask the question: where do you think people go wrong when they're having trouble making it work?
It's a good question. I'd say all different reasons, honestly. But if I had to say, probably the biggest one would be either their creative is not that great, or their landing page sucks.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Because the audience targeting, you can kind of get it wrong, but if you have a good creative and a good lander, you can make up for it.
Gotcha.
But yeah, that's probably the biggest thing I'd say.
Nice.
Test more.
Mm-hmm.
What about what do you think about Facebook Messenger and the ManyChat and stuff like that? Because I was with Adrian last week, and he was showing me this crazy ManyChat sequence he has where people go through different social media platforms, and it looked pretty extensive, but it looked pretty awesome at the same time. And his open rates were retarded.
Oh yeah, I mean Messenger is nutty good, especially that coupled with email, and you just crush. I'm decent with chatbots. I'm definitely not a chatbot pro,
Mm-hmm.
but I like ManyChat has a good flow to it. You can see the flow in there. Chat feels a little bit better, but you can't see the flow. So it's there's pros and cons to both. But I've never set up a super sophisticated chatbot. I've set up 10 or 12 question sequences for lead gen, and then I set up an e-com funnel also. And then I set up like basic ones, just like we're setting up one right now for ad leaks actually, where you can like automatically sign up or pause your membership or basically anything you need for customer service, like right in the chatbot.
That's smart.
So we're working on setting one of those up right now.
Damn, that's awesome, man.
Yeah, that's really cool. Did you just see that WhatsApp is being able to advertise on now in terms of like messaging? That's
yeah,
crazy.
I haven't tried it yet, but I have seen it. You can actually now you can choose WhatsApp as like to optimize for WhatsApp messages.
That's
Really?
that's going to be interesting.
Yeah, it's really nuts.
I love when new stuff
that
comes
Dave
out.
brought that up.
Tyler's been yelling about WhatsApp for the last fucking 2 years about how it's going to be. He's like, it's going to be optimized. You're going to be able to.
I'm the WhatsApp prophet.
Yeah. Although he doesn't run any traffic, just fucking email this guy.
Just email, yeah. So what do you got on the horizon, man? Is ad leaks your big focus right now to build that subscription business up?
Yep, I want to get ad leaks up to over 10,000 members.
Nice.
This year, that's my goal. And working on throwing these training events. So we got the one coming up in San Diego with like 13 or 14 different speakers, and then my mastermind right after. And then my goal actually, once I have the larger community established, is I want to start throwing conventions. Maybe next year, 2020 is the goal. Again, just to bring people together and have kind of like a nice blend of people there. Some performance marketers, some advertisers, some agencies, just bring people together, you know?
Yeah. What do you think?
I get kind of sick of going to like affiliate summit and you know, like the convention itself, like I like the people that go, but the convention itself is very old, you know, etc. And I don't, and Trust Conversion Summit's great, but it's like once a year. Yeah. And it's there's like no performance aspect to it. It's like not that crowd at all. So I kind of trying to find like a blend of both.
Yeah. Do you have a location set or an idea of where you might have it?
Oh, no idea yet. The convention? Yeah, no idea yet.
That'll be cool. We'll be there.
So it'll be somewhere in the U.S. I know that. I just don't know where yet.
Nice.
That's cool.
California, please.
I actually kind of want to ask you, man, do you get many non-performance clients? And what's that like working with them if you do?
We don't get many of those, honestly. No? I would like more of them, but we only get the occasional non-performance client. But I would definitely like more of them because we only take clients to spend at least $100,000 a month or more. And we've had a few brands reach out to us, but then they want to spend like $50K a month. You'd be surprised. A lot of these big advertisers big companies don't necessarily spend that much compared to what like us performance marketers spend.
Really?
Yeah, you'd be surprised. So don't get me wrong. Like some of them spend a boatload. But yeah, some of the numbers I've seen from some of them have been like, oh, can't even take you on as a client. Like you guys need to spend more.
Yeah. I met the media buyer for Nike one time and she said it was great. All she had to do was buy ad spaces on different sites and that was the end of it. Like no performance metrics whatsoever.
What a job.
Yeah, it was one of the media buyers I hired, Nick Shackelford. He worked for me last year, 2017, I guess.
Yeah.
Anyway, he had just done the iPhone 7 launch for Apple, like the media buying for it.
Oh wow.
And he said that his goal as the media buyer, for the iPhone 7 launch, was to spend $50K a day. I was like, well, what about like CPM or like in-store visits or like anything, email, subscription, nothing? He's like, nope, $50K.
Wow.
Like I spend 49, they get mad. 51, they get mad. 50, good to go.
Wow. Just burning money. That's amazing. I love it. That is.
Oh, man,
I was like, how do I get more of those clients,
No doubt, man.
You're probably a pro in hiring media buyers now because you've been doing it for a while. Do you have any tips on that?
Yeah, it's a good question. So I find the biggest thing is like a willingness to learn.
Yeah.
I almost like hiring like guys that are more like new and analytical and don't really have a lot of experience media buying.
No bad habits? Is that why?
Yeah, it's like no bad habits, kind of.
Yeah.
And then I just literally train them by bringing them to one of my masterminds. That's how I train all my media buyers. It gives them like all my best tips and practices, like all in 2 days,
So I'm assuming, and I haven't been to one of your masterminds, but I have done work with you in the past, but I would assume that your masterminds are a little bit higher level than someone new coming out. So how do you run them to get them past the beginner stages and then so they're ready to hit your event and really?
Yeah, basically that's a good question. So basically I just have them sit with one of our senior media buyers.
Yeah.
I'll have them literally shadow them for a few days or a week or 2 weeks or however long it takes, but it's generally up to 2 weeks. And then they'll do some basic stuff in the ad account, in the senior guy's ad account, that the senior guy will check over, make sure it's good before it sets live. And then once they've kind of got all the basics down, all that kind of stuff, they got some hands-on experience. Then I cart them over to the mastermind to learn more advanced stuff. And then obviously they still have the senior media buyers to lean on, who've been to multiple of the masterminds.
Yeah.
And really know my strategies and tactics really well.
That's cool. How long do you find it generally takes to get someone? So you get someone, they have maybe a little bit of experience, at least have a Facebook account, I'm sure. How long does it take before bringing them on brand new to the point where they're pretty proficient and you trust them that they know how to do their job?
That's a hard question. For some people, it's a month. For some people, it's 6 months. It depends how noob they are or how much they hustle. Some guys will be the first one in the office, the last one to leave, and obviously they're going to learn faster than the guy that leaves at 5 p.m. every day. And, so it really depends, but 1 to 6 months, somewhere
Nice.
there.
I have a similar strategy. All my mailers have been I had one guy who's literally a security guard in the Army. He showed up for his interview, put his laptop on the table and said, "I can't even afford this computer unless you give me a job today." And I'm like, anyone that's committed, I'm going to hire, no question, right?
Yeah.
And he's turned out to be great, but I find it takes a little bit longer, 3 months to as long as a year before they're just super proficient and can run with things pretty much on their own, So that's interesting. Similar approach.
Yeah, it really depends. Yeah.
Yeah. What about as far as retention and compensation? If you don't mind me asking, do you have different models based on, how much experience they have and stuff like that? And do you find you get a lot of turnover just because, so many media buyers, once they know how to do it, there's a lot obviously they can do?
That's a really good question. And I tried multiple different compensation structures because, they wouldn't work for one reason or another. But I found that a decent, it's in California, so it's a little more expensive than Iowa or something. So we'll pay usually anywhere from 40 to 80K base, depending on junior or senior and experience and all that. And then kind of go heavier on the commission. So we charge on we were doing a performance bonus kind of a thing. If we can come in under the client's target CPA, then the media buyer would get a portion of that.
Nice.
Sort of like an affiliate would, right? But they're not spending their own money, which is good. Good for them. But then that didn't work because clients would give us just a low CPA, and then the media buyer would be a little bit over that. The client's still happy with the cost, but then the media buyer is getting no bonus. So then they would ignore those client accounts. So what we ended up doing was changing it so the media buyer would get an actual percentage of the spend, just like we do.
Nice.
So we get them, 0.5 to 1%. We get 15, they'll get 0.5 or 1.
Nice.
So, roughly 10% of the revenue, I guess, what they get.
Smart.
Very cool.
That makes sense.
That makes sense too, because it keps them tied into wanting to push and.
Well, they got to keep the client happy, want to keep pushing the spend up, but while maybe keeping the client happy. So it incentivizes them to do exactly what we want them to do.
Yeah. Do you like agency life? Do you like having an agency?
Yes, I do. But if I had to be there day to day and run everything, I would not like it. Gotcha. I did a merger basically with DFO, and they run all the day to day of the agency. They hired all my media buyers, the designers, coders, everybody. Moved them down to the San Diego office, I basically hop on client calls. I train media buyers, but I don't I haven't been to the office. I'll put it this way. I haven't been to the office in 2 or 3 months. Yeah. And I'm just not involved in the day to day. I was for the first year and a half, and it was so, man, it was just such a hassle. And I ended up giving all this free consulting to clients that are paying, $15K a month fee, basically, 15%. But then they're taking like hours of my time up in consulting essentially. And I'm like, man, I would have made more if I just charged you for consulting,
Yeah.
It's just a grind. I mean, it's a good business if you don't mind. It's just very service oriented and stuff. So, you just got to be like, good at scaling teams and have good, operations in place and all that.
For sure. How that's interesting. DFO, man. We actually we've been kind of touching back and forth with Jordan, having him on the podcast. But I imagine if you guys are working together that long, it's been a pretty good working relationship. And I know they do.
Oh yeah, Jordan's a great guy, really nice guy, and the DFO's grown so much in the like 2 years or 3 years of working with them. They went from like 150 people to 250 now.
They even have an office just down the road from my house in Vancouver, oddly enough.
Yeah. And
they're everywhere. They're everywhere.
Yeah, they help throw the ad buyer meetups too. They do all the I get a sponsor and I just say, hey, go talk to them. They book the venue, they do like pretty much all the work, and I just post and show up and have fun.
They're really cool.
I love DFO.
And they're blowing up pretty big in the affiliate e-com offer space.
Oh, crushing.
Yeah. It's like them and Giddy Up, I think, are the two biggest right now. And they're really making moves with that. And I always tell people that if you want to transition from e-com over, like maybe try an e-com offer, because it's a little bit safer for Facebook. Facebook's a little bit more cool with it. And won't get your account banned right out of the gate.
They might just wait a week to ban you.
That's a valid point. Always rolling the dice with good old Facebook.
I find that people just push it. If you just don't push it, and you just follow all the rules, generally you're okay. But it is kind of like, I guess for people that are new, they don't know all the rules. So you just really got to read through the terms and guidelines like multiple times before you start.
Work with Facebook, not against them.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Awesome. Well, man, what were you going to say, Tyler?
No, I was going to say, I felt like I've learned so much more about you that I've known before, because I've always known you as like the Facebook guy.
Yeah, the Facebook guy.
Now you're the Craigslist guy, the DFO guy, the Facebook guy.
Yeah.
Like
I just want to be like the online advertising guy.
Multiple hats. Yeah. So if anyone wants to kind of get started or learn more about Facebook at either a beginner level or like a higher level, because you have some really high level stuff that I've seen for myself, and it's great, man. Your scaling methods, everything like that. What's the best way to find that and find you?
It would be to go to if for free is the Facebook ad buyers group on Facebook. And to the one with 81,000 people. Very helpful. Ask a question in there, you get an answer pretty quick. Lots of great people, great advice in there. And if you want to kind of like level up, then I have Ad Leaks, which is $1 for 14 days. And then it's $99 a month. And you can cancel whenever you want, but it's got like, we've got over like 100 mini courses, tutorials, and how-tos in there now. A ton. And there's like 2 or 3 new ones being added every day.
Crazy.
And then if you want any consulting or masterminds or anything like that, it's timburd.com, just my name, TIMBURD. And there's masterminds on there, events, consulting, replays, yada, 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 all the good stuff.
On YouTube, we'll include those links, and on our website, we'll include those links just to make it easy for our listeners and viewers and stuff.
By the way, I love the new logo.
Thanks, man. We had to change it. We were coughing Michael Vick's logo for a bit there, and we didn't even know it.
Dude, I walked into this like I'd say like this hippie-ish restaurant with a 7-fig sweater on, and someone's like, "Yo, is that Michael Vick?" And I'm like, "This is not the place to be wearing Michael Vick gear. No, this is definitely not." I called Gabe. I'm like, "Dude, we got to make a change. This isn't good."
That is hilarious.
Yeah, man. It's funny. Like I never saw that logo before, and then but whatever. It's
I didn't even know Michael Vick had a logo.
Yeah,
dude,
right.
He's got multiple. Like I was checking it out the other day, like trying to figure out like how many logos he's got, and he's got tons, man. That guy's like,
that's crazy.
He's got like 3 or 4, and I'm like, what do you need so many logos for? But
right. Jeez.
Yeah. But, well, thanks again, man. Pardon, Tyler?
I said when that NFL money dries up, he's got to go after that personal brand.
Yeah,
that's right.
Sell that swag. Yes.
Yeah. But dude, thank you so much for being on, man. We appreciate it big time. And I think this is the most time we've spent talking, which has been super cool because I've learned so much more about you now, man, which has been awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you guys having me on.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to meet up in San Diego too, and we'll for sure attend your parties too. So that'll be great.
Oh yeah, man.
All right. Well, thank you everyone listening today. For everyone watching, don't get to subscribe to our YouTube, and for everyone listening, please give us a review on iTunes because we need it. So yeah, thanks again. Yeah. All right, guys. See you on the next one. Thanks again, Tim.